What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expedia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expedia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expediausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expedia Interaction Marketing Group and the call center geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast, where we try to give you some actionable items to take back in your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve the agent experience, hopefully improve your customer experience as well. My name is Tom Laird. I'm the CEO here of Expedia Interaction Marketing. Expedia is a 600-seat call center outsourcing organization here located in northwestern Pennsylvania. How's everybody doing? Oh, man, a lot going on. First of all, very honored, proud to have been named a top 25 thought leader from ICMI, right? Which is a pretty, I think it's a pretty well-known list. It's my first time kind of on that list with some of the names that are, kind of, I guess, legends kind of in the call center and even more in the customer experience industry. So super proud of that. That's come from one of you. I don't know who nominated me, but I really appreciate it if you're listening. The other thing is, because of this, we're going to do a ICMI Top 25 Thought Leader series. So I've talked to a couple of the other people who are on the list, and every single person I've talked to has been really excited to come on. So I believe starting next week, we're going to have I'm not going to give any names out. I'm going to do a surprise kind of every week, but I think at least twice a month, for the next couple months, we're going to do some kind of in-depth interviews with some of these thought leaders, to talk about everything from customer experience to, building community and building kind of those advocates for your brand, to retention, to hardcore contact center operations. So if you're into customer experience, contact center, obviously you are if you're listening to my voice. So really excited for that. Also, the new book is out, Advice from a Call Center Geek 3.0. If you are listening to this, today's the 28th of January, until Tuesday, which I believe is like the 1st or the 2nd. The book is free on Amazon if you want to download the Kindle. Paperback, which is over 200 pages, is $14.99. You can find that on Amazon as well, but check that out if you are interested in any of that. All right, I want to get into something that is on topic, but a little off topic, but is super interesting to me, and it needs to be super interesting to you as well. And that's, we did an episode probably a couple months ago on NFTs and how they correlate to customer experience, but I want to have a broader NFT blockchain conversation and have you really start to understand that this is not going away. This is not a fad. This is something that is going to be ingrained into everything. So over the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, you're not going to have a choice, because NFTs are going to be the way that businesses are going to start to interact with customers, start to add more utility, more value to customers. And if your organization, if you're not thinking about it, I don't want any listener here to be behind the times, right? One of the things that we always like to focus on in the podcast is technology. And again, that we can't touch on all technology because we're trying to say in that customer experience kind of centric contact center world. But this is going to touch customer experience, how people talk to customers, how they interact, how they utilize community so much that I want all of you guys to at least start to think about this, start to do research on your own. It's so vitally important to where the industry, to where everything is going to be, in the next coming 5-10 years. God, I can't imagine what our kids are going to see, right? I'm 45 years old. My daughter is 9. My son is 6. They're into Fortnite. They're into, Roblox, right? They're into Minecraft, right? And all of these things are precursors to what the metaverse and what NFTs are going to be. So I want to go into a couple ways that I think NFTs are going to add a lot of value to your life. They're going to add a lot of value to your business and why you need to start to think about them. Let's start at the very basics, right, of what is an NFT. For those of you who do not know, it stands for non-fungible token. And basically, it is a digital asset that is written in the blockchain, right? So you can tell the provenance of it, right? You can tell who's the owner of it. It can be bought, it can be sold. But what is it, right? A lot of people just think it's this JPEG picture. Like you see those crypto punks, right? You just see a picture of a punk and people own it and they're paying $4 million for it. And you're like, well, that is the dumbest thing ever. That's valuable because it's just rare, but I don't think it's a really great example of what the power of the NFT is, right? So not only is it that little picture of art that's written in the blockchain that shows ownership, but in the back end of this, there's code that is written and it's in a smart contract. And this smart contract can do anything that a regular contract can do. And people's imaginations are going wild with what the power of that contract and what we can utilize it for on the blockchain. So think about this. Like if that's kind of hard to, this is the best example I think I've been able to give is, people talk about a baseball card. What's a baseball card? If you think about it, like a Mickey Mantle rookie card, if you really just look at it, all it is a piece of cardboard, right? It's just a picture on a piece of cardboard. But it has intrinsic value. It has rarity. We think that it's worth something because people want to own that. There's memories to it. There's a ton that goes with that, right? And I think there's the same thing with an NFT, right? On its face value, all it is, right, is just this digital asset. But again, it's a baseball card on steroids because of the utility of the smart contract behind it and all the things that we're going to be able to do. For example, and again, I think this is the best example to go with the baseball card. In the next couple years, and you might even start to see it next year, this is the example I love to give because it's happening, is sports teams, whether you're an NFL team, you're an MLB team, you're somebody who is a ticket master, right? You're going to give tickets to concerts. So anything that has a ticket, you're not going to buy a ticket anymore. You're going to buy an NFT. And you're going to buy levels of NFTs, right? So let's just say you're going, I'm a Steeler fan. Let's say, I know, right? Ben Roethlisberger, see ya. Thanks, buddy. But anyway, let's say you buy a ticket to the Steelers versus the Browns, right? And that ticket is going to come and you're going to actually not buy a ticket anymore. Again, you're going to buy that NFT, right? That NFT is going to have your seat number, the day of the game, all that written into it, right? Maybe that's just a core ticket. But let's say, you know what, I want a gold ticket. And that gold ticket might have the same seat, same date, but you get access to a party with 5 legendary Steelers that are going to sign autographs, right? So there's some utility that's written into that one, right? So you can actually choose a level of ticket that you like. Let's say then too, remember, you now own this NFT. Let's say 3 days before the game, you can't go. Just like a regular ticket, right? You could sell it, right? There's value to that can be sold before the game. But here's the awesome thing is, while yes, you could sell a ticket stub after a game, there's not a huge market for that. But let's just say this new quarterback that the Steelers draft, he throws for 600 yards in his debut, right? That NFT that you have for that game is now going to be worth a lot of money to a lot of collectors. So that can be now sold on the open market. Every single time it gets sold, the Steelers also get a kickback of normally it's 5 to 10% as well. So there's recurring income that keeps on going, right? So the value of that compared to a ticket is tenfold, right? And that's just the most basic example. So you can kind of see how this could just really go into different areas. I wrote some things down here, just totally brainstorming of what I've seen in the NFT market. Now, I'm huge into the NFT space. I own probably about 100 different NFTs, have found them to be a lot of fun and extremely valuable, and have a nice portfolio that I have built, as I've learned and tried to learn as much as I possibly can about the space, who's in it, who's not in it, who's in it for the right reasons, and some of the ideas that people have, which are just absolutely fascinating to me. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you about my NFT project that I'm going to do, because I'd love to hear some feedback for you. All right, but let's talk about the first part here, and I have this kind of broken down, but some of the things you guys, there's a lot of customer service, contact center professionals. Think about some of these different things that you could do from a servicing standpoint. And number one are kind of tiers of service. Now, that's nothing new, right? You could say, hey, I just want tier 1, which is email, and tier 2, which is email and chat, and tier 3, which is voice, right? So you could have gold, silver, bronze NFT packages, right, that you sell. And the good thing is, if let's say I buy this NFT package for service for my TV, and let's say I get a new TV, I still have this package. Well, the great thing is I can sell that, right? I can actually sell the service package to somebody else who has that TV, right? So now I'm not stuck with just something that I paid for, or maybe I just say, hey, don't pay for it anymore, right? If it's a monthly, but I can actually make money for myself buying these things, or buying this and then selling it. Same thing with, when it comes to different customer tiers, right? And it's like a SaaS company, right? Same kind of thing, like where you have, a level 1, level 2, level 3, and the different utilities that you can get on the website. But the same thing is, you own the NFT. Now that those utilities, if you don't want that product anymore, if you don't like it, you can actually sell it, right? And you can sell the NFT to me, who now wants that product. So it's now everything has a digital life of its own, right? And you can actually use these assets that you're accumulating that normally you would just use as a service. But now this service kind of has kind of a brick and mortar feel to it, right? Where you can actually take that. It's tangible. These digital things, these service things are now tangible, that can be bought and sold to other people. The other thing that I love is access. Right, so different levels of access, and you're seeing this with performers, you're seeing this with singers and concert goers, to where different levels of ticket provide you different services or different access to maybe the celebrity. Where maybe a gold is you get to hang out in the back before concert for an hour and have a beer. Maybe a silver is there's just an autograph session. And maybe there's just core tickets that are regular tickets that you get to go to. And again, these can be bought, these can be sold. There's rarity to them, because there's not going to be that many of those gold ones, right? And even on the secondary market, those are going to be worth something. So think about it, how you may want access, with customers. What could they access your company to? What different utilities could that add to? The other thing is content, right? It's, things that I'm thinking about playing around with is, having a advice from a call center geek gold and an advice from a call center geek silver, to where maybe the gold is, there's certain specific utilities, certain, private, ask me anythings, and you get access. And maybe there's 20 minutes of my time that I'll spend with you, talking about your contact center, every quarter. And then there's a silver where, maybe you just, you get access to my SMS and if you'd like to text me a question, those types of things. Totally thinking that through, not even close to ready, but just, again, you can see how my mind is going. And I know that there's just a lot of stuff here I'm just kind of throwing out. But again, brainstorming, this is me brainstorming to you. Start to think about some of these things, right? We talked about kind of SaaS companies and how they can utilize this. It's a no-brainer for a SaaS company to basically have their NFT on there. If you don't want it, think about retention of that, right? Instead of just canceling the service, you're going to go sell it, right? You're going to go, offer that to somebody else. So the problem with retention becomes all for naught. Think about this. Let's say that you offer some type of pet product, right? Let's say it's like a pet insurance product, and you pay one-time fee, $500 for that product. And, if you did the math over what somebody might pay, by month, that would probably work out pretty well for you. Let's say their pet, passes away, or let's say the kid moves out of the house and takes the pet with him. You don't need that pet insurance anymore. Then you can sell it, right? You can sell it, right? So again, these things that you now think are non-tangible become tangible, become able to be sold. It's profitable for the organization because nobody's canceling. There's a set amount of them in theory, or I guess there could be as many as you want. But the person who owns them doesn't feel like they're trapped, or that they cancel at a certain time, then actually make money off of these. I mean, I can almost see that this becomes its own little bit of an industry. But the other thing I see this, really taking off is crowdfunding, fundraising, real estate or REITs, to have a startup that says, hey, here's what my startup's going to do. We are going to, basically sell stock. And the stock is basically going to be NFTs. And we're going to sell 10,000 shares, which are 10,000 tokens. And they're going to cost $1,000 a piece. And all these people are going to buy them, right? We're going to sell out. And then that's how we're going to crowdfund our organization. That's how we're going to, fundraise our product that we're doing. That's how we're going to raise money to, purchase these buildings. And then a percentage of the profits, say 70% of the profits, go back to the token holders. And there can be different levels of token holder too, right? Like that gold, silver, bronze kind of model. Maybe one's $2,000, one's $1,000, one's $500. You get different percentages and different shares. And again, all of these can be sold if you're not into it. From a technology standpoint, I can see NFTs becoming basically kind of APIs or pieces of code, right? That instantly you can buy to do specific certain things. There's a project right now that is dealing with AI, and basically they're training, you're training AI bots. So you're speaking to them every day, and when thousands and thousands of people are speaking to them, they're actually learning. And you'll be able to use this piece of AI code, this bot, right, to help you, right? Eventually it will become your personal assistant. It will be able to do specific things for you, like an assistant, right? So again, little pieces of code that you can put into your software are going to be NFTs, and then you can buy and sell that code. It's fascinating to see all this stuff. Obviously the metaverse, right? We are trying to create the first virtual reality contact center in the metaverse, which we're working on, right? NFTs are going to be a huge part of that, right? From purchasing land in there to the contracts that bind, one organization in this metaverse to the other. A ton of different digital tools, right? Even with kids with their gaming, right? NFTs right now are being basically, grown in their thought process, right? If your child plays Fortnite, they're buying skins, right? Which are basically just outfits that the character wears. And currently that's just kind of that money stuck in the game. Very shortly, there's no doubt about it that's going to be able to be bought and sold. And you're going to be able to go into a marketplace, and Jimmy, who just bought this banana skin, right? And Susie's going to be able to purchase that. And now she's going to own that. There's going to be prominence of it. There's going to be rarity to these things. Some are going to be worth more than others. And instead of just paying the game, right, you're paying the game still because they're getting a kickback from every single time it gets sold. But it's basically an open marketplace, right, for digital assets. And that's going to happen. Roblox, like I could totally see like a Facebook, which is now Meta, purchasing Roblox to get them obviously into their metaverse and to start that process of them making money. So again, this is a rambling episode, and I apologize for that. I just get so excited about it. And literally as I was talking here, I stopped about halfway through to send an email to one of our clients because I just had an idea for an NFT for their project, for their customer service project that they've outsourced to us. So again, I'm trying to, even with my clients, to keep them on the cutting edge, see if there's anything else that I can do to add value other than just, answering calls and answering chats and answering emails. Yeah. So again, I hope this episode opens your mind to this. All I want this to do is, this isn't the end all be all. This is the beginning of your journey. I want to just create, right, the flashpoints in your head to start to think about this. Having said that, let me tell you about my NFT project that we're working on here This will not be ready to be launched until early next year. I'm trying to do it right. So many people are trying to just do money grabs for NFTs right now because it's the wild, wild west. So I'm calling it Incubator 3.0 or Inc 3.0, right? 3.0 meaning Web 3.0 and Incubator meaning we're going to try to create startups in the metaverse based on what the community that would buy these NFTs would like. So let me give you an example. So we're going to have different levels again of rarity and utility. So we're going to organize this like a company. So there's going to be, I don't have the exact amounts in front of me, but for example, 500 CEO tokens and 2,000 executive VP tokens and 2,000 VP tokens, and then 2,000 or 3,000 manager tokens, and then 2,000 or 3,000, core frontline worker tokens. All right. So different rarity for each of those. The rarities between, let's say, when we're talking about the senior VPs, there'll be finance tokens and marketing and operations and, all the different aspects of a business. And what we'll do is people will purchase these. We'll do a 10,000 token NFT drop. You'll randomly get, whatever you comes up and you kind of just randomly get. You could get a CEO token. You could get a core token. The CEO tokens obviously will be the most rare. There'll be rarity that, kind of becomes, part of them. But this is kind of how this will work. There'll also be a larger percentage of profits going kind of to the top all the way down. And profits meaning of startups that we would like to create. So if everybody purchases and I sell out these 10,000 tokens, that should be about roughly $5 million kind of in the pot. So we're going to take, about $600,000 to $700,000 and do kind of proof of concept startups on 3 different types of organizations to start. The community, right? We're going to have quote unquote board meetings, right? Or shareholder meetings. That's probably a better way to put it. Shareholder meetings where everybody's going to vote on what type of organization do we want to start, right? Do we want to start a virtual reality company? Do we want to start and purchase a ton of land and become realtors in Decentraland, which is a metaverse? Do we want to create augmented reality tools? What do we want to do that has to do with the technology in Web 3.0? Have enough funding for these for 3 of them. And if any of them take off, right? Maybe, who knows? Maybe we create the next Apple, right? And then all those 10,000 initial shareholders, those token holders will be billionaires or millionaires. Or it could go to be nothing, right? And it still, I think there's some rarity because it's kind of the first time that anyone's trying to do something like this. So again, I'm trying to create a kind of a startup incubator community to where we can all put their tokens, all have a voice, and then all receive the funding back or the profitability back if any of these actually, go. So again, that's kind of where my thought is on this. Again, that's my entrepreneurial kind of side plus the business side. I'm going to take my 3D virtual contact center. That's going to be one of the first things that we try to kind of monetize through this because it's already in the process that's coming out of my pocket. So it's already kind of down the road. So excited about that. So again, love to know what you hear about that. I apologize if this is a rambling episode. This is just something I get pretty excited about. But anyway, I will talk to all of you guys next week. Love to hear your thoughts on the episode.